guys, welcome back for another video. Today I want to talk about the fact that I left my job. I just could not make enough excuses to continue on, so I just went into work Monday, said, hey, this is gonna be my last week with you guys, and yeah, I just quit. Oh, it's been a long time coming, and I am all over the place. I slept so late today, just tired, just needed a good rest. And so today I want to talk about it. I made a video the other day, and I really liked the way that I kind of formatted it, because I stayed on topic and I discussed all the things that I wanted to discuss. And so I'm gonna follow a similar type way today. I put into my, once again, AI little tool here, and I asked it some questions so that, once again, I'd be able to stay on track and make sure that I covered all the things that I wanted to cover. And so I asked it I said I'm 55 years old and just quit my job. Like, what are some questions you would want to ask someone who just did that? And so the first thing it says is, what did you enjoy most about your previous job? Well, I was in my job for 13 years. I've always had a career in the retail hospitality industry. And so first, before coming to this job, I had just had my oldest son graduate from high school. And a lot of you would be new to my videos, but I have two sons. My oldest son is 32 and my baby is 14. So that's a real wide age gap there. So when my oldest was graduating high school, I was in the mindset of thinking, hey, I'm going to be an empty nester. So I had quit my job at that time, because I was wanting to travel, maybe live in a different state. I just had all these possibilities. And then lo and behold, I found out that I was expecting my youngest. And so, being that that relationship did not work out, I found myself needing to do what a lot of us single moms have to do. I had to get back out there and get a job and figure out how I was going to be a single parent and provide for my child. And so I got back out there, and this was the position that I took to ensure that I would be able to financially take care of myself and my son. So once again, I've been at the position at the job for 13 years, and my youngest is 14. So I can't say that I didn't like anything about the job, because I made some great friends along the way. I've always enjoyed working with young people, trying to be some type of influence or mentor, just to kind of give them insight. Like, we always would be like, what would the younger me say to the older me? And that's kind of way I approached a lot of the young people that I worked with. So I have to say that along the way, I've made some great relationships with people. So I would say that's what I really enjoy most about my job, the people interaction. or the human connection. But once again, it is what we have done from the beginning of time as mothers. Did what we had to do to take care of our family. The next question says, what aspect of your job made you decide it was time to move on? Well, 13 years is a long time. Previous to that, I had always said to myself, I was not going to be in a position for any more than like 5 years. And if I couldn't make the necessary movement as far as opportunities, then I would look to move on. But being that when I took this job, I was in a vulnerable place, finding myself a single mom again at 40 years old. I just grasped onto the security and doing what I knew how to do. And at the time, it was always a plan that I wanted to move on, do something different, travel, maybe live in a different state. And so just like 2 years ago, I decided, well, more or less a year ago, I decided that it was time for me to revive those wants or dreams or possibilities, and I started trying to put things in place so that I would feel comfortable with stepping away from my job. And then just, can you share a significant achievement or memorable experience from your last job? And then once again, it was for me the human connection, like working with a lot of the younger people and just sharing my insight, life experiences, and things that would not necessarily just make them great in that job, but just hopefully something that they would carry on throughout their work career or personal life. I always had the mentality that I had a young adult out there working, and I wanted him to be someplace where there was someone there that saw him as a human being and treated him as such. And so that's how I always wanted to treat other people's children, and believing that karma does catch up with you. So I think I had a lot of people within that time that would leave the company and would come back, just to see how I was doing, to maybe introduce me to a spouse or, a new baby. So that was like really what filled my cup in my previous job. And then, how are you feeling about your decision? I guess like most people, anxious, nervous, scared, not quite sure what's going to happen next, and we never really know what's going to happen. But I feel that I'm 55, and if I don't do it now, like, when am I going to do it? My son is in his 9th grade year, so his freshman year in high school, so he's not too far from being, finished with school. And so I just feel like, wow, wait, I'm not getting younger. I can't get any time back. I could really put myself in a position where, unlike with my oldest, I really didn't get to spend a lot of time like I did. Like, I tried to make all the functions, but it was always go, and hurry up so you can go back to work, or run late trying to finish what work and go. So now I have an opportunity to really spend that time, enjoying his last few years of high school. And I feel good about that. And what are you most excited about now that you've left your job? Well, like I said, I think I've known for like a year now that I was ready to move on. I just wanted to try to set myself up to be in a better place that I could do that. Once again, not saying that I have a lot of money. I think I tried to plan me leaving with like getting the last bonus check and getting a couple of weeks in to get another full check and a little bit of savings, and then trying to stack all that together to be able to complete the rest of this month comfortably, next month, and still be able to have a decent Christmas for my son. And so I'm like, hey, you know, I've worked more than half my life. So it's just time to try to reap some of that benefit while I can, because once again, you never know what's gonna happen. So why wait? Are there any immediate goals or projects you're focusing on? I would have to say the things that I tried to put into place, I put them in place with the intention on building on them. I by no means felt or feel that it is enough to just be content with and think that it's going to take care of everything. And so, as I've said numerous times, you know, the vending business is something that I've started, and that's something that I am wanting to build on. I have a rental, so that's something I want to build on, adding another property as a rental, which is the property I'm currently in, getting it ready to get on the market to see in regards to doing that. And I'm okay if I have to work a job maybe 20, 30 hours max a week. That would also help bring in a little extra so that I could continue to try to pursue other passions and things of that nature that I want to, that may or may not make a lot of money. So how do you envision your career or personal life evolving in the next few years? Well, actually, you know, I want to also say that I think a big part of me also realizing that it was time for me to move on and do something else, and pursue things that would make me happy, is just because I feel like when you have these jobs, they're so demanding and they're so stressful and they take so much out of you, you know, that I neglected myself. You know, I don't have a social life, so I'm really looking forward to getting out there, like just doing different things, going to events. I feel that I neglected my health. You know, you're eating on the go, you're eating late, and that was kind of like my mindset when I initially thought about getting into the vending niche as far as healthy eating, because as a working mom, I know how hard it can be to try to be on a healthy eating path when it's so easy to go to a lot of these fast food places and just get things that are not as healthy for you. So I really do want to work on my health, on my eating, on my skin, maybe do something with my hair every once in a while. So I'm really looking forward to putting a little bit more of my time into myself. But I think for my career self, I envision that I would become successful in any venture that I wanted to focus on. I feel that I am very capable of doing these things, like building a good vending business, or creating a nice little rental portfolio. Like, all these things take time and energy, and it becomes very hard when you're trying to juggle working for someone else, trying to be a good parent, trying to start this business or that business. So all these things, it's only 24 hours in a day, and so you kind of overload yourself with things, and it starts to get to the point where you just don't want to focus on anything, or you can't focus on any one thing. Once again, it's kind of like, what are some hobbies or activities you're looking forward to having more time for? Well, I can say that I did want to plan to leave my job around this time, and I think that's why it was so hard for me to just power on and get through these next couple of months working. It's because I saw that I was not going to be able to have the type of engagement, or I wasn't going to be able to be as attentive to my son as I wanted to be, being that I had to move him away to go to school so that he would have a better school experience. And as a parent, of course, you're going to miss your child. He's already planning for us to be together during, Thanksgiving break and things, and I did not want to disappoint him as well as disappoint myself. And so that gave me a little bit of an extra push to make the leap and just say, hey, I think I thought this out well enough. I think I've set forth some things that would say, hey, it's okay. It's okay to want to concentrate on yourself, on your family, on your health, on your happiness. And I know there's going to be some rough days where I'm thinking, like, what in the world did I do? What sane 55-year-old person leaves their job of 13 years to say I'm going to make a go of it on, vending machines and trying to build, rental properties. But once again, when you get to a certain age, like, most of your years are behind you, and it's like you have to let go of certain things, like caring about if people think you're crazy for doing this, that, or the other, or defining yourself by the title you have or the company you work for. So I understand that now, and I'm just ready to move forward. I prayed about it. I asked God to continue to look over me, continue to kind of guide me to what it is that I'm supposed to do. Yeah. And, also, like, when you get my age, if you're fortunate to have your parents still around, your parents are getting up there in age, and a lot of responsibility as far as helping my mom as she's getting older has fallen on my sisters, and I haven't really been able to be as present in that as I want. So I've carried that guilt, so I can really now, once again, concentrate on family. So it's scary, yes, but I think there's more reward than not to just taking back control of your time. So with God's grace, I hope I do have enough time left to achieve all the things that I want to. Once again, I have my plan. I think I'll be okay. And then at the beginning of the year, I will be able to possibly look at if I need to, dip into my 401 to kind of give me a little extra monthly, cushioning. Something I did read about as I was thinking about leaving work, because actually for me at my job, after so many years, and if you're 55 or older, you can actually retire, which really doesn't get you, like, we don't have like a pension or anything like that. But anyway, in reading about being 55, I did read the IRS rule of 55, and so I will be able to take advantage of that. And from my understanding, it just means if you leave your job in your birthday or your birth year of becoming 55, you are able to dip into your 401 without the penalty. You do have to still pay taxes, but you don't have to incur that penalty. So that also made me feel comfortable to know that, hey, I can dip into that to kind of get me through hopefully a few years, couple of years, and just really concentrate on making a go of the things that I've started working on, and any other things that I feel, bring me joy and maybe possibly bring me a little bit money coming in. So yeah, I just wanted to share. I have a few bit videos up about complaining about going to work and, just fighting myself and all the fear and doubt as to whether I should or not. But yeah, I did it. I left my 9 to 5. So I hope you will consider subscribing and joining me on this second act of my life. God willing, I have a few more good years left in me, and just see my progress, and yeah, give me some support, leave me some comments. I love when I do get comments, to know that I'm not the only one out there feeling these things or going through these things. So as always, I thank you for watching my videos. Please consider subscribing, and please like and share. All right, I'll see you in the next as a newly retired 55-year-old with no 9 to 5.